Hi, my name is Eric. I'm a writer here at Crutchfield, and today we are looking at the Rotel CD11 Tribute compact disc player. Rotel is a family-owned company that's been at it since 1961. CD players obviously not around then, but they've done a lot of catching up since then. The CD11 model has been around for a while. This one's called the CD11 Tribute because the late great audio engineer Ken Ishiwata redesigned it from the ground up to make it sound even better. And then when he passed away, Rotel asked his family, can we name this CD player the Tribute in honor of Ken? And his family agreed. Rotel uses what they call a balanced design concept, which means that they exercise a great deal of control over what components they use in each of their CD players or amplifiers. So everything that's inside this CD player has been handpicked to deliver the best possible listening experience. It sort of breathes new life into anything that you choose to listen to on it, and that was an experience that I was actually looking for because I started collecting CDs in the 1990s, and I feel like the equipment at that point was kind of still in its infancy. Some of the technology was still fairly new. I don't feel like I ever heard any of my discs quite as well as they could have sounded, so I was looking forward to the opportunity to breaking out some of my old favorites and listening to them on this really nice, new, redesigned CD player. So I got a chance to take this player home for a couple of weeks and try it out, and that was a fun experience. I also had the Rotel A11 integrated amplifier, which is also part of the Tribute line that was redesigned by Ken Ishiwata. And to listen to all of this on, I had a pair of Bowers & Wilkins 606 S2 stand mount speakers. One of the first discs I put into the tray and listened to was Charlie Hunter's debut CD with his trio called Bing, Bing, Bing. I remember that being a revelatory experience for me the first time I heard it because Charlie Hunter has kind of an inimitable style and he plays a very unusual instrument. And getting a chance to hear that with this disc player, the integrated amplifier, and the speakers all together was kind of a new experience for me, and I really enjoyed it. You really could feel a lot of clarity, and you could really hear every note when you listen to a familiar track off of an album like that. I also enjoyed some blues. I listened to Robert Cray, and of course back then I did like to rock. I listened to the Pixies' Doolittle, a lot of great albums that really got new life breathed into them by listening to them through a much better compact disc player than I ever owned at the time. There's a Texas Instruments DAC inside of this player, which is what I used because I like to use the analog outputs to hook up to the A11 Tribute integrated amplifier. There is also a digital output if you want to use an outboard DAC or another component. There's a 12-volt trigger input on the back of this disc player, which allows you to use it with other Rotel components. When you connect them together, you turn on one component, all of the other components also come on at the same time. And there's a special connection on this that you'll only find on Rotel products. It's called the Rotel Link, and that allows you to, once again, connect multiple components together and then control them with the Rotel app. I do like the sleek look of these Rotel components, including this one. It has just the 5 buttons on the front for controlling the transport, fast forwarding, stop and play, that kind of thing. The display is dimmable. Sometimes I find it can be a visual distraction if I'm listening at night for the screen to be too bright. You can use the remote to tone this one down to whatever you're comfortable with. If you're like me and you have a CD collection that you'd like to bring back to life, the CD11 Tribute is a great way to do that. It delivers really pristine sound with a lot of detail and clarity. If you have a question about this or any other Rotel component, please contact us here at Crutchfield. We'd be happy to help you out.